Hey, good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, world. This is your morning medicine. This is your morning medicine. Praise God. I'm happy to be back on. It's been a busy couple weeks just getting back from the good old state of Arizona. But I'm grateful to be back in the house. And I don't know about y'all, but I need me some medicine. Today's prescription comes from Proverbs chapter 24, verse 5. That's Proverbs chapter 24, verse 5. It says, a wise warrior is better than a strong one, a man of knowledge than one of strength. A wise warrior is better than a strong one, a man of knowledge than one of strength. I was thinking about this for today. God has blessed us with all different positions, various statuses of our jobs, different levels when it comes to our careers. God has truly blessed us. And one of the things that I was thinking about this morning is when we find ourselves in whatever position, and it could be job or outside of your job, but whatever position is of status or a position that is over people, we have a temptation to start to work out by our own strength. Let me explain what I mean by that. Sometimes the position in itself gets the best of us. That's the temptation. It can truly get the best of us. What do I mean by that? We start operating from a place of our strength rather than wisdom. We start operating from a place of our position instead of by the one who put us in position. Revelation of a difference. There's a difference between operating in your position than operating by the one who put you in that position. And I want to use this proverb this morning for our morning medicine is to really think about wisdom is better. Showing wisdom is better. What do I mean when I say showing wisdom? This wisdom that I speak about this morning is when you find yourself in this position, operating by the wisdom of God rather than operating by my own strength. Rather than operating by my own wisdom, but yet operating in God's wisdom. What are you talking about? What do you mean by that? Good question. What I mean by that is sometimes we can find ourselves in these positions, and the way we go about it is flaunting our authority by the position, allowing that to be the forefront of how we lead. I want to show people how strong I am. I want to show people that I'm this person in this position, or I'm this person in that position. And you want to lead by your authority based on your position. It's always leading by they should respect your position. And you always lead by introducing your title. You want everybody to know that you're such and such, that's over such and such, that does such and such. And that becomes the forefront of your leadership. That becomes the forefront of how you move in that position. You want people to listen to you, not because of the wisdom you have, but the position you're in. I'm just showing you there's a difference in that. There's a difference because one is operating of trying to keep the position, maintain the position, or show the authority of the position by always presenting the strength, how strong they are, the strength of that position. But yet God says a wise warrior is better than a strong one. In other words, us operating through wisdom instead of strength is always better. And I think how we get the mind state of operating in that wisdom is remembering who put us in that position. See, when we think about who put us in that position, then I'll have to show the position because God will put me here. And if God put me here, then he has the grace to keep me here. I just got to remember not to forget about him while I'm in that position. I got to remember that I am a representation of him. I got to remember, how does he want me to operate in the position that I'm in? So in other words, I'm going to God and saying, God, help me to operate by your wisdom. How do you want me to respond to this situation? How do you want me to react? How do you want me to go about when I'm in position up to dictate someone's promotion or not? God, who do you think? Who do you think I should give another opportunity to? God, how do you think I should do with this paperwork or not? What I'm telling you is, if we go by our own strength to show how strong we are, we'll lose the people and never gain the people. And what I mean by lose the people, they won't have the proper respect of the position God put you in. It's not the position that should make anything, but yet it's the God over that position. Jesus, in the book of Matthew chapter 4, when he was tempted by the devil, one of the things that the devil always wanted him to do is to show how strong he was. He came at Jesus, and the first temptation is, if you're the Son of God, turn this bread into stone. Turn this bread into stone. What was he trying to do? He was trying to have Jesus operate by strength instead of wisdom. See, when I operate by strength, it's not dictated by the timing of God. It's dictated by the time that I think. See, when Jesus operated by the timing of the Father, he didn't have to show his strength or the position he held. He didn't have to show how strong he is or have to show somebody how much authority he had. He didn't have to do all of that. Because it wasn't about showing anything. It was about just glorifying God in everything. He didn't have to show the strength of his position. He just had to show who put him in that position. And I want to tell us for this morning that we don't have to do all of that. You may be the supervisor at your job, but I wonder how you supervise. Do you want people to follow you just because you're in that position? Or do you want them to see the God who put you there so they honor you while you're in that position? Because of the wisdom you bring. It's one thing that people acknowledge that you're their supervisor because you make them, but it's a whole nother thing when they acknowledge you're your supervisor because they're glad that you're there. It has nothing to do with us trying to appease people, us trying to do everything that not make them upset, because wisdom doesn't operate like that. God's wisdom knows the right time to discipline and when the right time not to. God's wisdom knows who needs to be promoted and who does not need to be promoted. And the ability to have them see a perspective that they've never had. To show them things about themselves that they've probably never seen. Yes, they'll be mad, but I guarantee you this. They'll appreciate the wisdom that you brought to that position because you always operated from a place of integrity. See, when I operate by my strength, I'm always moving in order to appease. But when I operate by God's wisdom, I'm staying the same as he is. So the level of integrity that I display is always the same. Why? Because God is a God that never changes. Even though they may not want to hear it, they'll always see that I gave it to them because I am operating from the best of God's wisdom in order to bless them. And sometimes they don't grab hold of it. Sometimes it may take time, but I guarantee you this. When I operate by God's wisdom, trust me, in time they'll see. But I'm operating by my own strength. They'll do nothing but despise you because you're just showing your authority. And that's not the true way to go about anytime we're in a position of authority. I shouldn't have to show my authority. No. The wisdom of God is enough that they'll see who you are and be blessed that God put you in that position. So again, for this morning medicine, I want us to get in the mindset that we don't have to show how strong we are. No, just show the wisdom of God. It's like a parent. If you got to continue to tell your kids that you're the father, you're the mother, have you ever asked your question, why do you have to continue to repeat that? Why don't they see you as that? And I'm telling you, sometimes when we try to operate by a place of strength to try to stronghold and manhandle people because we're in this position, we will only create more rebellion. Because we're not operating in the wisdom that would help them get to the place that God is trying to help them to get to. So I'm saying whatever position, expect with those that God put us in positions of leadership and whatever position we're in, we don't have to show ourselves by the strength we have. We have to show ourselves and let everybody know that I'm such and such in this. No, I don't have to lead by my title. I lead by the grace that God has given me. And in that grace, wisdom is always better. Because in that wisdom, it helps me to lead in order to truly help them. So I was saying for our morning medicine this morning, how are you operating in that position? Showing God's wisdom is always better. Do you come to a place and say, you know what? No, you're going to do it because that's what I told you to do. And that's how you always lead. You don't want to hear any second opinions. You don't want to hear any counsel that may come from other people. You don't want to hear anything when it comes. Why? Because you're in this position and you just don't want to hear anything. What you said is right and that's it. You don't even try to hear and get an understanding of anything. You don't try to hear anything because you know what? You're in that position and you know what? They should listen to you and that's it. But what if wisdom is trying to communicate to you a better way? What if wisdom is trying to communicate to us and saying the perspective you have, it could be tweaked a little. And wisdom is trying to open up insight through your team, but yet because you want to show strength, you have blocked out your team. The wisdom of God and how we operate in these positions from God's wisdom will always be open, that we can always make things better. And sometimes better is not through me, it's through the team that God has put me with. Sometimes wisdom communicates to me and said, how about you listen to your kids and actually talk to them? Instead of always trying to showcase that you're the parent, they're the child. I think that's already understood. But when they get to see and appreciate the wisdom you have as a parent, the position that God has put you in, they appreciate and be thankful to God that you are their parent. It's a whole different perspective that they mind state has changed because I'm not leading by strength, but I'm leading by God's wisdom. And God's wisdom, it's always better. So I just want to encourage you with this morning medicine this morning. How are you leading today? Are you leading by showing the wisdom of God? Or are you always trying to showcase your strength? Trust when I tell you, showing wisdom is always better. Not only for us, but for them. God bless you all.